You don't have to be the best. You just have to be the first. Or do you? This is a super common phrase in both the business and technology world. And this really rings true when it comes to photography or videography equipment too. The first brand to shoot 4K. The first brand to shoot 8K. The first brand to shoot raw video. The first brand to produce a wireless microphone system that allows 2 transmitters to go into 1 receiver. It feels like more and more companies are just rushing out their unfinished products in order to be the first ones to do something. I've already reviewed the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro and the Rode Wireless Go, but now we have a new contender, the Hollyland Lark 150. Out of all the products that I've tested, the Saramonic was released first in November 2020, and at the time of its release, it was the best option for 2 transmitters and 1 receiver systems. Then the Hollyland Lark 150 was released just a month later, which I've only just gotten my hands on, and then it was the turn of the Rode Wireless Go 2 in February 2021. I get the impression that all the major microphone manufacturers knew what Rode were up to, and they wanted to release their products first. If you haven't seen my Rode Wireless Go 2 or Saramonic Blink 500 Pro reviews, I'll pop a link to them in the video description. The Hollyland Lark 150, however, seems to be quite different to its competitors, and with a big enough reduction in price that it actually might make sense. For some of you, it's almost a hybrid between the Saramonic and the Rode, taking the best bits from both of them and combining them into a product that seems to suit everyone's needs. To start with, you get a beautifully well-designed charging case, just like on the Saramonic, but with a much more compact and high-end feeling. Inside that charging case, you get a receiver, which has a fairly large screen, which is great when you're in bright sunshine or when you have to change the gain very quickly with the hardware knobs. This makes a wonderful change to the fiddly nature of both of the other systems. Also in the charging case, you get 2 tiny receivers. These things are even smaller and more discreet than the Rode Wireless Go 2. I'd say they're about 80% of the size, which makes them perfect to hide pretty much anywhere you can think of. Like the other systems, you can record in stereo mode, which sets each transmitter to their own individual channel, or mono mode for those quick and dirty interview style setups. The range is only advertised at 50 meters, and I think this is perfectly acceptable for a product of this size. This is the same as the Blink 500 Pro, but unlike the Blink 500 Pro, it actually seems to be truthful. I have major dropouts with the Blink 500 Pro at any hint of losing line of sight. The Lark 150 seems to work well even when line of sight is obstructed. The Rode outright wins when it comes to range though. In my testing, I was able to achieve 300 meters, and over the past few months, I've used it on several jobs and never had a single issue with losing signal. So I suppose you want to know what the inbuilt condenser microphone sounds like. Well, spoiler alert, you've actually been listening to it this entire time. I have one of the transmitters just up here mounted to my usual shotgun microphone, and I think it's the best sounding out of the 3 that I've tested. It's not particularly close to my mouth, but it seems to pick me up very well. I won't be testing the lavalier microphones, as these will sound exactly the same on all 3 products. The charging case, the hardware controls, and the design are all beautiful, and it functions exactly as described. It even comes with all the cables and lavalier microphones in the box. It really is a wonderful system if you're looking at being relatively close to your subject. I sometimes have instances where I'm more than 50 meters away from my talent, so for these reasons I'm going to be sticking with my Rode Wireless Go 2 for the moment. But I will be releasing a video in the coming weeks where I take a look at a third-party charging case for it, so if you're interested in that, then please hit the subscribe button. But if I didn't already own the Rode Wireless Go 2, I would probably buy the Hollyland Lark 150. At the moment, you can buy one of these sets for just under £200 on eBay, or just over £200 directly from Amazon, making them much cheaper than their competitors. If you're on a budget, then I would highly recommend these tiny warriors. Thank you for watching, and if you've got any questions or comments, please leave them below or join my Facebook group, link in the video description. See you again really soon.